How'd, there'd, and it'd. Those are some strange contractions. And if your goal is to better understand native North American English speakers, or you want to improve your own North American English pronunciation, you're going to want to learn all about this contraction. Let's get to it. I'm going to give you some really ridiculous examples of this contraction, things you've never heard before. So stick right to the end of this. Let's start. When we contract had with other words, we're reducing the length of the vowel. Kind of think of it like just an sound. Get rid of the H. Had, we drop the H. Let's get into the practice. I don't know, maybe I'm Mr. Burns now. I don't know why I'm doing this a lot. Excellent. I think I'm gonna end up doing a lot more too. Darn it. Let's get into the practice. I had turns to I'd. Notice I'm linking I and ud together. There's no pausing. I, ud, I'd, I'd. I had a great time turns to I'd, I'd. I had a great time. You had turns to you'd, you'd. You had a large coffee, right? Turns to you had a large coffee, right? You would. You had a large coffee, right? He had turns to he'ad, he'ad, he'ad. It's almost like we're adding a y. He'ad. So the sentence, he had the best idea, turns to he had the best. He had the best idea. She had turns to she'ad. Sheead. She had a cold turns to she'ad. She had a cold. She'ad. She had a cold. We had turns to weead. Weead. We had a ton of fun turns to weead. We had a ton of fun. Weead. They had turns to they'd. They'd. They had a reunion last year turns to they'd. They had a reunion last year. They'd. Everyone had turns to everyone'd. Everyone had a great time turns to everyone had a great time. Everyone had a great time. Everybody had turns to everybody'd. Everybody had their uniforms on turns to everybody had their uniforms on. No one had turns to no one had. No one had a clue. No one had. No one had a clue. He disappeared and no one had a clue. No one had a. Nobody had turns to nobodyad. Nobodyad. Nobody had the guts to do it turns to nobody had the guts to do it. Nobodyad. Someone had turns to someone had. Someone had given her a gift turns to someone had given her a gift. Notice how her also has an H that's dropped. Given her, given her, given her a gift. Somebody had turns to somebody had. Somebody had. Somebody had an accident here turns to somebody had an accident here. Somebody had. Either had turns to either had. Either had. He either had a client or a meeting today turns to he either had a client or a meeting today. He either had one or the other. Neither had turns to neither had. Neither had any idea turns to neither had any idea. Neither had any idea where the dog went. So if any of this information has been new to you and you found it in any way helpful, click the like button. And I'm thinking if it's been helpful, you likely want more helpful information, just subscribe. That way you know you're not going to miss out on all of the crazy new information I share on YouTube. Let's get into some questions as well. Who had turns to who had. Who had the idea again? Turns to who had the idea again? Who had the idea? Who had the idea? What had turns to what had. Weead. Now the T is pronounced as a flap T. That kind of sounds like a D because there are two vowels, a vowel in front and a vowel behind. So what had turns to Weead, Weead, Weead. What had happened? Weead. What had happened? What had happened? Where had turns to Weead, Weead. Where had it gone turns to Weead. Where had it gone? Where had it gone? When had turns to whened, whened. When had it occurred to you turns to whened. When had it occurred to you? Why had turns to why'd. Why had it happened turns to why'd. Why had it happened? Why had it happened? How had turns to how'd. How'd. How had the meeting gone with the boss last week? Turns to how'd. How had the meeting gone with the boss last week? How'd. There had turns to there'd. There'd. There had never been that many before. Turns to there'd. There'd never been that many before. There'd never been that many before. That had turns to that'd. That'd. The T surrounded by two vowels will turn to a flap T. It sounds like a D. That'd. There were 5 cars that had been in an accident before. That'd. There were 5 cars that had been in an accident before. That'd. It had turns to it'd. The T surrounded by 2 vowels turns to a flap T, which sounds like a D. So instead of it hid, it did, it'd. It had only taken 5 minutes to complete. Turns to it'd. It had only taken 5 minutes to complete. It'd. So if you learn how to do this, you'll also increase your fluency, naturalness, and linking and blending, and the speed of your English pronunciation. It's all good stuff. And the only way to make sure that you never miss out on some pretty awesome English pronunciation lessons is to subscribe. It's the only way to do it. And if you're thinking, I really want to learn more like this, if that's you, head on over to my website. You'll see a book, an audiobook, a video course with like over 400 videos, 35 hours of actual amazing learning and practice. Or if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, head over to the website. Otherwise, I'm just going to see you here at the next video where you get to learn even more about North American English pronunciation, how to sound natural and fluent when speaking English. So click on this video and we're going to learn some more amazing English pronunciation secrets. I'll see you there. Bye.